Lake Varnon during a harsh winter, delivering food and clothing to those in need. Her story of light in the darkest season resonated deeply in the Nordic countries, where light symbolizes hope and renewal. The story, the tale of Lucia, spread and became central to the Christmas celebrations around all of the Nordic countries. On December 13th, that's her feast day, a young girl is chosen to represent Lucia, wearing a crown of candles and leading a candlelit procession down the city, singing the Santa Lucia song, which we're going to be singing later on. And the thing about that song is you can't get it out of your mind, and you will be humming it for the rest of the week. And then we got ScanFair coming up. We're going to do that again. I'm going to have to be singing it again for another week. This enduring tradition celebrates generosity, community, and the hearts of all homes that you've got here. In Oregon, the tradition of Lucia found its home in 1956, when the Scandinavian club at that time recognized the importance of bringing this beloved celebration to light in their community. That December, Oregon crowned its first Lucia, 1956, beginning a long tradition that continues to this day. Over the past 67 years, the Oregon Lucia and her court have been a cherished tradition, embodying the same spirit and hope and generosity as her Swedish counterpart. Over the years, Lucia tradition has grown to encompass acts of service and kindness to reflect the true spirit of Lucia. The crowned Lucia and her court have brought light to retirement homes, children's hospitals, visited people in need, and supported houseless and foster communities. They have shared the story and the song of Lucia, spreading her message of hope and generosity and light throughout the community, inspiring all who hear it. Thanks to the generous contributions of the community in recent years, with these educational scholarships that the young ladies will receive, empowering them to pursue their goals and carry forward the values of generosity and compassion. Now it's my honor to introduce this year's court, our 68th official Oregon Lucia court. There are 6 extraordinary young ladies that have embraced the spirit of Lucia and are passionate about Nordic culture, tradition, and heritage. Each of them will share a short speech offering unique perspectives and ways this tradition has inspired them. After the speeches, our judges will convene privately down the hall and make the very difficult decision, selecting among the remarkable individuals to be crowned this year's Lucia. Regardless of the outcome, each member of the court has already demonstrated light, hope, and dedication that defines the legacy in our community. And also, big thanks to our judges, Andrea Tolanen, is Andrea Scandinavian? There you are. All right. And she was Scandinavian of the Year nominee in the past. Aberdeen Stewart. All right. You were Lucia in 2021. Thurman Miller, board member. All right. Christine Beaulieu. All right, and she was the President's Award recipient, and then Eric Taxer, and Eric was a community and former board member too. So what are they looking for? And again, it's difficult. You judges have a difficult job. Their decision is based on enthusiasm for Nordic culture, heritage, and tradition, along with a heart for the community in general. They will consider the court members' applications, which personal interviews, and then their speeches here. So I'm going to pass on the mic to our court, and are you going to announce them coming up one at a time? Okay, so how about a round of applause for Sarah, who done a wonderful job.
Hi, my name is Alexandra Gunderson. I am 19 and a sophomore at Portland State University. where I am pursuing a dual degree in vocal performance and graphic design. My Nordic heritage comes from my grandpa, Darwin Gunderson, whose father immigrated to Estevan, Canada from Ringebu, a small village in Norway. Although my grandpa has died, we have kept some Norwegian and Scandinavian traditions alive in our home. For instance, an annual tradition in our family is to attend ScanFair. We also have attended the Midsummer Festival. My family would always visit the food vendors and souvenir booths, and every year I would pick out an ornament from one of the vendors and place it on our Christmas tree. To me, it was like bringing a piece of my grandpa back home with me. Besides seeing the pretty ornaments, it was interesting when the vendors explained how they made them. It was an absolute joy to see the pride in their eyes as they explained to me what went into their final product. I also loved craft tables as a kid, where I remember having fun making heart baskets, Viking ship ornaments, and Christmas dontas to bring home. I also loved it when my family would take out the electric candelabras to place in our windows. I always kept the candelabra on my windowsill way long after the holidays had passed. Just seeing the soft glow of the candles in the window made the dreary winter nights just a little bit brighter. As an adult, I've enjoyed volunteering at Scandinavian events. For instance, in August, I volunteered at Ola Bola's birthday, which also so happened to be on my own birthday. Remembering the fondness for making crafts, I enjoyed helping out at the crafts table. It made my day when a kid's imagination was sparked by a sample Viking that I made. I've continued to learn about my heritage through visiting the National Nordic Museum in Seattle. It was interesting to learn about the reasons why Scandinavians immigrated and built a new life in America. I also appreciate the shared values, such as conserving the outdoors for everyone, which, as a lover of nature, I find to be incredibly important. A value my mom established early on was the importance of volunteering. My mom dragged me and my twin to the local food bank to package food, starting when we were 6. I'd ask her why we were sorting food instead of playing, and to this, she'd look me in the eye and say, "It is important to spend part of your time thinking about someone besides yourself." Those words resonated with me. I've been volunteering since. Sometimes I'd be packaging food for the food bank. Other times I'd help out the homeless through Night Strike or Dandelion House. Winters were when I'd buy toys for my church's toy drive or help out with my high school's winter blitz. And summers, those were when I'd help out the homeless through Night Strike. Even in college, I make time to help out at the Oregon Food Bank and Night Strike. In addition, I have volunteered at Nordic Northwest's Midsummer Festival and at Ola Bola's first anniversary. Through volunteering in the community, I've learned the importance of treating others with dignity, kindness, and respect. I feel like I've become a better version of myself when I am helping others. And it is gratifying to me to be part of organizations that create hope for people who can use a helping hand. According to legend, Santa Lucia gave food to the starving in Sweden from the prow of her ship. By helping the poor, Santa Lucia served as a beacon of light in the darkness. But I believe that the light of kindness can shine in all of us. To me, Santa Lucia is a role model. As a member of the Lucia Court, I'm looking forward to spreading kindness around, just as Santa Lucia did. By helping others out like she did, I can carry on her legacy through my actions. Because I believe acts of kindness can change lives. Thank you.
Hey, Yahe to Linnea. Hi, my name is Linnea Smith. I feel incredibly honored to have been chosen for the 2024 Oregon Lucia Court. I am in my first year in the Clark Honors College at the University of Oregon, where I'm majoring in chemistry with minors in education and math. My goal is to become a science teacher. I am passionate about teaching because it offers me the perfect chance to serve my community and create individual connections with those around me. I'd like to ask you to close your eyes and use your imagination for a moment. We're standing in a green field filled with friends and family, the sun shining warmly on our faces, the breeze rustling our hair and clothes. Lively music erupts from the musicians' instruments, and we all sing along, joining hands and dancing festively around the beautifully decorated milestone that, through the combined effort of all, now stands tall and proud in the center. Our community is together, celebrating Midsummer. I've attended Midsummer since I was an infant, and dancing around the milestone as a child are some of my earliest and fondest memories. I especially love celebrating Midsummer, Lucia Dagen, and Christmas Eve with my family, and many of my favorite treats are recipes handed down from my mormor and her mother. When I was 2 years old, my cousin and I joined the Vasa Rosebuds, a children's Swedish folk dance group, which cultivated my love of dance and Swedish culture. Though I originally was one of the littlest, I quickly became a big kid, and 6 years ago I became the assistant leader, teaching dances, encouraging hesitant kids, and creating a welcoming and supportive environment in which to learn. Even now that I'm away at college, I stay connected with my dance group through photos and texts and by dancing in and assisting with performances. In a few years, along with my sister and cousin, I plan to assume the leadership of the Vasa Rosebuds when the current leader, my mom, retires, so I can continue sharing my love of Swedish dance and culture with the next generation of Vasa Rosebuds and our audiences. Through being a leader in Vasa, I discovered how much I love working with kids, leading me to seek out other opportunities to serve children, volunteering multiple times as a student leader at outdoor school, teaching swim lessons, being a nature day camp counselor, working as a counselor at Trollbacken, and now studying education in college. Although I've been helping teach dance at Trollbacken for the past 10 years, not as a counselor, my favorite part of Trollbacken this past summer was teaching the kids to make lussekatter, as well as all sorts of crafts, including little St. Lucia dolls. It was so rewarding and fun, cementing in me a desire to continue working with kids, to return to outdoor school throughout college, and to nature day camp and Trollbacken every summer. My Swedish and Norwegian heritage are deeply ingrained in me, almost to the molecular level, and being a member of the Scandinavian community is an integral part of my identity. It has helped me develop leadership and teaching skills, it has taught me to generously share my time and talents, and inspires me to participate in events beyond those my dance group performs in. It has connected me with many people who have made an impact on me and who I've grown to care about, especially the members of Harmony Lodge and the residents at the Springs retirement community. It ties me to my heritage and my ancestors, and it provides a place for me to continue growing and thriving well into the future. This is the essence of what Lucia means to me. I am so thankful to be part of the Scandinavian community in Oregon, and I cannot think of a better group of people to have the privilege to serve and represent. I hope to celebrate with you all at the upcoming winter festivals, and especially next Midsummer. I would love the opportunity to teach you how to make a flower crown and to share the joy of dancing together around the milestone. Finally, I have a fondness for bad dad jokes, so I'd like to leave you with this. Why do the Norwegians barcode their battleships? So they can Scandinavian. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jane Krass. I'm 17 years old, Danish, and a senior at Tualatin High School. You now know a little bit about me, but how much do you actually know about me with that little bit of information I gave you? You know about as much as everybody does know on the first day of school when we go around introducing ourselves. If I say I'm the oldest daughter and grandchild, you'll think, oh, she had to be the responsible one. But you learn more about me from the facts that I enjoy theater, I go to my church's youth group, and I'm a part of the National Honor Society. You learn that I enjoy interacting with people, I regularly practice my faith, and I'm a pretty good student. We get these ideas because these communities have traits and qualities that most individuals in them share. Qualities that I look for in groups are those that are hardworking, lift up and support each other, and are proud of how they started and where they come from. I see all three of these qualities in the Nordic community, and it has played a role in my life in more ways than one. First off, it is one of the reasons why I even exist and am here today. Towards the turn of the century, my great-great-great-grandma Peterson needed to make a big life-changing decision. She had to find the courage to leave Denmark to a country where she had no friends or family and still provide for her 2 kids. She knew that there was a Danish community in Eastern Washington that would help support her and raise her children in the way that she was raised, with traditions and culture that she grew up in. The qualities of this community in Washington were like the ones that I value today, and it gave her the courage to cross the Atlantic with only the faith that she would be supported. Fast forward over 100 years, and I see the same 3 main qualities that I value in the Nordic community that I know today. I see the hardworking people that help plan and set up events, from the volunteers to the top event coordinator. Everybody puts in their max effort. And most people are already working full-time jobs where they could be doing anything else with their life, but they decide to bring up this community together and share our culture. I also see the hard work that people put physically into carrying out our culture through sharing their crafts. From beautiful sweaters and jewelry to my personal favorite, the food. Last year, I had the opportunity to learn how to make lefse with a bunch of elementary students and some very, very, very patient women in our community. I probably asked them to re-explain the process about 10 times. Still don't think I fully got it. But they helped me, and they really much enjoyed it. And I found that they enjoyed teaching us because they knew that it was important for us as the next generation to know how to make things that our people have made for centuries. They took pride in passing down their knowledge. On the court last year, whenever I got nervous because I didn't know what something was or what we were doing, I felt this overwhelming wave of support that surrounded me, so I didn't feel like I was drowning. I felt like it allowed me to enjoy the events and connect with the people that we were there to help and serve. This is the same support that my grandmother felt, and because of the support I have felt from the Nordic community here, I understand how she was able to be so brave. The support that this community gives all of us allows me to have the courage to stand here today and speak to you now. And no matter where my life takes me, I will always have a community to connect with and feel supported by. Thank you.
Hej, jag heter Ingrid Lahn. Hi, my name is Ingrid Lahn. I'm a senior at Sunset High School, and I'm Swedish. I'm Swedish on both sides of my family. My papa was born and raised in Sweden, and my mom is Swedish in ancestry and moved there after college. I was born just outside of Stockholm, and I lived there until I was 2 years old. I was raised bilingual. My first words were in Swedish, and throughout my youth, I loved to sing Swedish songs. Being bilingual has allowed me to stay connected with my family overseas and also communicate with other Swedish people in Oregon. Currently, I visit Sweden every other summer to visit my family and to explore my birth country. Not long after we moved to the US, I began attending Swedish school in Portland with my siblings. There, some of my first cultural memories were made, ranging from baking Swedish foods like bullar, playing Swedish games like brännboll, singing Swedish songs, and participating in Junior Lucia. It is for that reason that this past winter, I became an assistant teacher for the preschool children at Swedish school. I wanted to pass down the same memories and joy that I felt as a student of Swedish school, and I loved the experience. We went to the park, made tons of crafts, and I taught them colors and numbers in Swedish. Both this past summer and the summer before, I've been a counselor at Trollbacken Swedish Language and Culture Camp, a week-long summer camp where youth with Swedish heritage come to learn songs, make art, learn folk dances, and learn the language. Both years were such amazing experiences because I was able to lead young people in their journey to learning more about their heritage, make some great friends, and spread the joy of Nordic tradition. One of my favorite moments from Trollbacken was when one of my girls would come back from her Swedish class every day with a new list of words to memorize, practicing them each day and committing herself fully to her classes there. It was at both Swedish school and Trollbacken camp where I realized that my experiences weren't only about celebrating Nordic culture, but also about passing it down to future generations. To me, being Nordic is about community and spending time together, and I definitely felt that love at Trollbacken. Another passion of mine is volunteering in my school district. I'm the president of the Helping Hands Club at my school, where we volunteer at elementary schools, helping out with their parties, cultural celebrations, and craft nights. We also volunteer at a local clothes closet, where we organize clothing for youth in need. I'm also a year-long distance runner, running both cross-country and track for my school. Through this, I've been a volunteer in various running events, like the Sam Day 5K and the Shriners Buddy Run, both of which raise money for pediatric cancer. I love volunteering because I love to help people. It brings me joy to see that I've made things easier on someone else. I specifically love to help with children, like when I'm a tutor for third graders at my local elementary school. I love working kids because they're so imaginative, and I want to become a science teacher one day. I'm also part of a program called Link Crew at my school, where I teach lessons to 9th graders each month about navigating high school. I love being able to share the wisdom that I've gained, and I often end up learning from the students as well. Involving myself in the Nordic community, especially with Nordic youth, is so important to me because I want others to share the same passion for their heritage that I do. To me, Lucia is someone who is kind, with a generous heart, a light in a dark winter. As Lucia, I would take my passion for leadership, teaching, and service, as well as my love for all things Nordic, and spread the joy of our culture throughout the Portland community. I'm so blessed to have this opportunity, and I can't wait to see where it takes me. Thank you.
Hejsan, jag heter Ella Segander och jag är så tacksam att få vara här idag. Hello, my name is Ella Segander and I'm so thankful to be here with you today. Growing up, my dad only ever spoke Swedish to me and my younger brother, while my mom primarily spoke English to us. All the movies and TV shows that we watched, all the books that we read, they were all in Swedish. Most of my family live in Nordic countries, and I've grown up consistently going to visit them, and likewise them coming to stay with us. In Sweden, my farmor och farfar live in Skåne, and I also have lots of aunts and uncles who live outside of Stockholm. In Norway, I have lots of cousins who live in a small town right outside of Oslo. The first time I ever went to visit Sweden, I was only 3 months old, and the last time I was able to visit was last julafton. While still living in the United States, my parents made every effort to make sure that me and my brother still stayed connected to our Nordic roots. We did Swedish lessons with some of our Swedish friends, we attended Swedish daycare, and even went to Swedish story times at the Hillsborough Library. We always attend Midsummer at Nordia House. And starting at age 5, my parents put me in the Junior Lucia program with the Portland Swedish School. I did that for 6 years. We would perform at the Lucia Festival and ScanFair, and as a little girl, I always looked up to the Lucia Court and hoped that one day I could be one of them. It feels very full circle to be here today. My parents surrounded me with so much Swedish influence that one day my friend was over and asked my dad to read her a book in English, and I, embarrassed for my dad, told her that my dad could not read English. He then surprised me by reading the whole book in perfect English. Apparently he's a doctorate in education, but I'd just been surrounded by so much Swedish influence in my house that it kind of slipped my mind that he could even speak English. Aside from being involved in the Nordic community, I'm also very involved in just the greater Portland community. Every other Sunday, I teach a 3- and 4-year-old Sunday school class at my church. We sing and we dance and we go over Bible stories. I'm also very involved in my church's youth group. We do a lot of community outreach in the Portland community. Just last month, I was a leader in what my school calls Impact. It's a week-long service week where students have the option to sleep at the school and then go out every day and do multiple service projects throughout the community. I was able to lead a group of 10 students, and we did certain projects like making food and passing out food to the houseless community, as well as doing yard work for the elderly who could not do it for themselves. We also did projects such as picking up trash along the road. We really did anything we could to help support the Portland community. I've been very fortunate to travel back to the Nordic countries quite often. And last year alone, I was able to try cross-country skiing in Norway. I miserably failed. It was very hard. I was able to polar plunge on julafton with my family in Stockholm. And I was even able to see all of Copenhagen lit up from the top of a Ferris wheel at Tivoli. That was really magical. All of my experiences with Nordic culture, whether that be here or there, have deeply shaped who I am today. I'm aware of the privilege that I have to be able to go back and forth, and I want to be able to give back to the Nordic community as they have given so much to me and who I am today. To me, being Lucia means being a light, not only for the Nordic community, but being a light to everybody that we meet. The Nordic community and culture has been so formative to me, and I aim to spread the joy and light of Lucia throughout this next year. Thank you.
Hey, good afternoon, friends. My name is Kylie. I'm a junior at Lake Oswego High School, and my heritage is Swedish and Norwegian. I volunteer with my church, and recently I had the opportunity to go to Belize and help build a school, and it was really great to give back to people, because I feel so fortunate that I can be part of this community and be standing here today. I would describe myself as an adventurous person. In fact, I spent 6 months as a foreign exchange student in Japan at 15. I like to learn about different cultures. One country or group of countries I've always had an interest in are Sweden and the Nordic countries. When I was in elementary school, one of my best friends was Swedish. I remember her family always seemed so happy, and they were the most fun party people. They held events where people in the neighborhood would get together to make saffron buns, have cupcake wars, and midsummer gatherings. They truly brought joy to my community, and because of their example, I've been wanting to visit Sweden since then. I believe the influence the Swedish family had on my community and me can be in part explained by a study. Harvard conducted the longest-running study on happiness. They found that the biggest factor in joy isn't money or achievement, like many people might expect, but it was the community. Coincidentally, the countries with the highest level of social cohesion, like the Nordic countries like Denmark, Finland, and Sweden, are also ranked as some of the happiest countries in the world. I was lucky enough to experience this in the summer when I went to Iceland with my family. There's a tradition there called the Puffling Patrol. And baby puffins will fly out of their nest, guided by starlight, to find their way to the ocean. But some puffins will get confused by the city lights and end up on the streets. In Iceland, kids will go around and find these baby puffins and return them to the sea. My sisters and I actually found a baby puffin while we were there, so we brought it to the ocean. It felt a little brutal to throw a baby puffin into the frigid waters of the ocean, but it seemed okay. And it was really meaningful to me that I got to participate in this tradition firsthand. It may not seem like such a big deal, but I find that from such a young age, I find it beautiful that children are getting excited over their culture. And another part of Nordic culture that stands out to me is called allemansrätten. Sorry, I don't speak Swedish. In Sweden, and it means the right of public access. My family and I love nature, and we often go hiking and skiing, but sadly, I feel like nature is frequently fenced off here, or at least access is limited. So I think the right to be in nature is really important, and it makes me wish we had greater opportunities to be outdoors, or our own version of allemansrätten. I think this is also part of the reason why the Nordic countries are so happy, because being surrounded by flora and fauna just brings a sense of calm and peace. I love the different aspects of the culture of the Nordic countries, from Allemansratten to throwing puffins to St. Lucia. And the glue that binds these traditions together and keeps them alive is the community. The Nordic countries have a wonderful community, and I am so excited to play a role in it. Thank you.
Wow. Congratulations to all of you guys. I'm a professor. I judge on your speaking quality and what you said. You all got A+. You guys have to figure out the winners. I don't know how you're going to do it. But the good news is there is no loser, because all of them get at least a $1,800 scholarship and some of a couple more. So just to let you know, the judges, if you want to leave, you're going to go down the hall and then come back. To the rest of you, for the first 10 minutes, what we're going to be doing is we are going to have Christmas music on right now for about 10-15 minutes. There are goodies. Are there goodies back there? Goodies over there, yes, and things to drink. And then towards the end of that, then Gunilla is going to come up and teach us how to do some singing, because we got to sing Santa Lucia when the girls come in later on. And so that will be after the cookies and everything like that. And then here's a chance to meet all of the gals who are contestants. And I want to meet a couple of them too. So congratulations to all of you. Judges, you are excused, and everybody else enjoy the music and then the cookies and everything else.
Okay, it was grueling for the judges. I know it was, because that was a hard decision. But they've made a decision. So I'd like everyone to light their candles as we welcome our court. And I'd like to add that Lucia, even though it's a legend and a story, it's a feeling. And so Gunilla's going to share a story to set the stage for the feeling. And I hope it puts you in the Christmas and Lucia spirit.
On the darkest night of winter, when the stars hid behind the clouds and the snow whispered softly across the land, a village nestled by a quiet lake waited for something magical. The long hours of night seemed endless, and the coldness of the winter chill seemed to stretch far beyond the horizons. But then, from the hills beyond the village, a soft light appeared, growing brighter as it drew near. It was Santa Lucia, dressed in a long white gown, her crown glowing with flickering candles. The light from her candles danced in the snow, lighting up the path as she walked through the cold, silent night. The people of the village, who had been waiting in darkness, gathered at the windows and doors. They watched as Lucia moved towards them, her gentle smile lighting up their hearts. Her light was not just from the candles on her head, but from the kindness in her heart. Santa Lucia had come to bring hope, to remind them that even in the darkest winter, there was light. She carried with her baskets of bread and warmth, sharing food with the hungry and comfort with the lonely. The people who had thought the long winter nights would never end felt the warmth of her spirit fill their hearts. As Lucia passed, the people joined together to sing her song, Santa Lucia, their voices rising in harmony. The song filled the air with a sweetness that made the cold night seem like a dream. With every step, Lucia's light grew stronger until the night no longer seemed so dark. She had brought the magic of light into the hearts of the people, and they knew that soon the days would grow longer and the warmth of the sun would return.
Thank you. That was wonderful. And it is with great pleasure that I introduce the Nordic Northwest 68th official Oregon Lucia Court, led by 67th Lucia Bryn Borland. Please light your candles. You got them all lit? Good. Get them up there as we sing Santa Lucia.
for the opportunity to serve as Oregon's 67th Lucia. The court and I had a busy season spreading the light of Lucia. This year, we have participated in many Christmas events, brought holiday cheer to our foster kids and our assisted living community, and even made friends along the way. I am now excited to pass the crown on to your next Lucia. May the light of Lucia light your season. God jul.
Our 2024 Lucia Queen is Ingrid Lund. And the runner-up is Linnea Smith. And thank you to all of the court members, Kylie Bassett, Jane Cass, Alexandra Gunderson, and Ella Singander. Thank you to all of them.
Thank you very much. It's a proud moment for me to bring the light of Christmas to you. I hope it will light all of your hearts with happiness and shed its radiance of peace and joy in all of your homes throughout the Christmas season. Merry Christmas and God jul.
A huge thanks to the whole Lucia court. These girls will have a very, very busy season with a flurry of appearances and outreach in December. For a list of their appearances, and visit NordicNorthwest.org or take a picture of the one that is in the Lucia Christmas events posters at the Nordia House just outside. A special thank you to our chaperones, Anita Schnacky, Anne Marie, the committee chair, Sarah Winter, and Grace Pinoni. Beth Buzgart for helping with the crafts, and Christine Smith and Vasa Rosebuds. A special big thanks to all of you for coming today and celebrating with us, and especially, how about a round of applause for the young ladies who were in the court this year. Congratulations. You can turn your candles off now and enjoy.